This is indeed Dietmar Dahmen, creative office and managing director with BBDO for many, many years. He was working 20 years in marketing in Hamburg, New York, Los Angeles, Vienna. It's not clear this guy is from where. Look at his hair. It's doing like this. Very, very creative. And today we will talk about how Dietmar use dramatization in business, how not to be boring, and how to be influencer. My first question to you, Dietmar, how to be influencer like you? Because I can see that you already influence. You influence. This is for sure.
I think the most important thing about an influencer is to reach the audience. And in order to reach the audience, you have to know what the audience wants. And if you look at the world today, especially online, there's lots and lots of information. We have information like crazy, but one thing lacks, and that is emotion. We have too much information and not enough emotion. So in order to become an influencer, be that as a person or as a brand or as a small business owner, in order to influence your customers and make your customers happy, you have to reach their heart, not their mind. We shop with our heart. There's a lot of stuff. I didn't need this shirt. I'm not wearing it because it keeps me warm. I'm wearing it because I love it. And I walked down the street and I saw it in the store and boom, I fell in love with the product. And your customers can do the same, be that as an influencer or, as I said, as a business owner. And the love is emotional. It is not a fact. It is an emotional thing. So don't address the mind of the people, address their heart. That's the most important thing.
Dietmar, tell me please, you are from Germany originally, but you don't look at all like a German person, because German person in our mind is somebody who's reserved, sprechen Sie Deutsch, it should be very organized, little bit like a soldier in a good way, and you are smiling, shining, you have this Hollywood smile. Who are you, Mr. Dietmar?
I'm the product of my experiences and I'm the product of my history. I'm an emotional being because I experienced so many things and I lived in many, many countries. I lived all over Europe. I'm currently living in Austria, in Vienna. I lived in the United States, as you said, Los Angeles. I was in Japan for a while. I love the Middle East. I love everything. And there's a lot of stuff where you can take little bits like a good chef in the kitchen and you can make your own dish. And I'm the modern cuisine of a global mix of ingredients. And I picked what I like. And I like happiness. I like being positive. I like even to look at problems and say, hey, great, let's solve the problem. Let's not run away. Don't hide away from it. See what you can do with it. And that's my personality.
That is definitely not very German. I think when people in Germany meet you, they're very surprised and you give a lot of positivity to them. Tell me please, since you were working in BBDO, which is very famous for its creative approach, for a great marketing promotions and marketing strategies, what you will recommend now for people who are in pandemic times and who are in business, who are influencers? You said to connect with your audience, number one, but number two, how to be, they don't like to speak in Zoom. They're not very good in online speeches. What to do? How to survive?
There are three answers potentially. The number one is what I just said about the emotion. That is the content. How are you as a person or how are you as a product? As you said, the Germans might be stiff, so a lot of people do not like Germans necessarily. Much more, other people are much more welcoming and those people are more loved. That is the content. But then you need also media. And even if you look at BBDO, they have very awesome creatives, but they have also awesome media. And media is currently done by machines. There's artificial intelligence that figures out user profiles. What do people like? And then you offer profile. And if there's a match, boom, there will be an advertising. So the thing is, it's a mix of your emotional content as a human and the machines and the artificial intelligence and all those things that are done to actually spread this information. And if you do not do how to do that, if you are not a technician, No problem. And if you don't know how to do that because you're not a warm, open person, no problem. Just make sure to get somebody in your team who knows it. If you are cold, get somebody who is warm and loving. If you are not a technician, get somebody who is a technician. The most important thing is that you should not lack this. You should have it in your entire portfolio and mix of marketing activities. It is always about machines and humans, about analog and digital, about facts and emotion. That's what the world of success is all about.
This is very interesting how you're matching this German organization rules, because I think you like strategy and you like to analyze everything. Plus, you have this American warmth, maybe because you were traveling a lot, so you are combining it. So in the scene, you said that in the marketing, we can combine the machines and we can combine the creativity. Can you give one example of this? Maybe you consult somebody. What advice you gave on the concrete example for some company that you helped, or for some individual, like how to do this?
A very important thing, because I live in Vienna, and like everywhere in the world, we had total lockdown when COVID hit. So we could not go to restaurants. And there are restaurants that I love. There's bars that I love to go to. And what did those people do? They went online. They created an online thing. So first thing I could do, I could order my food online. That's step number one. So I had the facts. If they couldn't do it, they hired somebody who could do it. But then they moved into the emotion. I always go to an Irish club here in the area, and we had quiz night, lockdown quiz night. So what we could do is we could order drinks and food and all the things from the club, and then have it in our separate areas. We were totally decentralized, but we came together. So what happened is that the brand unified us. And this is not only true for bars. Every brand unifies the customer. There's a lot of people that drive like a mini car, you know, the BMW Mini Cooper, and they see another one and they say hi. They might not even know the person, but they are connected because they are one tribe. And this is an important thing. A brand or a service creates a tribe of fans. And if you are a business owner, you have to think about, what does my tribe need? How can I make them happy? And it is very important, even if it's just the smallest message, to answer questions. For instance, there's a lot of people that maybe complain about your service, be that on Twitter or on Facebook. Do not ignore this. Say, oh my God, I'm hearing you. I'm listening to what you're saying, and I'm going to change. So branding today is a dialogue. It's not a monologue. And the most important asset you have is not your product. The most important asset you have is your customer. So put money in your customer and just not the product. That's why advertising is good. Advertising is just one way of communication. And in the advertising world, you call advertising communication. So communication is good. Dialogue is good. Listen to your customer. One little small example, I don't know, but I used to watch, we have kids, I used to watch especially during lockdown, a lot of Star Wars. And our kids love Yoda. And what is the special thing about Yoda? We all know he's the smartest and the wisest.
Yes.
The ears, he has big ears. He doesn't have a big mouth. He's not communicating constantly and yelling. What he can do is he can listen. And he listens to you, and then he sees you, and then he gives small but very meaningful answers. And this is what marketing is all about. This is what communication is all about. And this is what success is all about. Success is not done by you. Success is done by the others who listen to you and who like you. And the best way to do that is to listen to what they want.
So you will recommend, let's say, in your business, Dietmar, how you doing this? How you are consulting, really, you're consulting people, and this is your job. If you consult me as Olga, who is, and my team, the founder of Hidden Hero, a platform that helps businesses Let's say you're in Vienna, so people will know about you in Dubai, in Moscow, in Kazakhstan. That's what we are doing. How do you recommend for my platform hidden hero? The idea is to take the hero out of your soul, not to be afraid, not to be afraid to go on the stage. How you will recommend me to connect with my customers? My customers are people who want to develop their brand and who want other people in other countries to know about them.
I think there's a whole mix of questions in what you just
There are
said.
two already.
The
Minimum.
number one is, how do you find out about what your customers want? And the easiest thing is to simply ask them. So I would do a blog. I would ask them, like a little help lady, you know, saying, what would you be interested in? And then you supply that. And the other thing is that you then actually go out and help them. And let's say you cannot do that because you're afraid and you're shy and you don't know, is that the right thing to do? That happens to a lot of people. And what a lot of people do then sounds complicated, but is very easy. They create an alter ego. They create a professional self. Again, looking at Netflix movies and stuff like that, you might know Batman and you might know all these heroes. Batman is normally a regular guy, but then he puts on a mask and he says, I'm a superhero now. I can do things that I would never do as my regular self. But as Batman, I can do that. So what you do is you dress up, you create an alter ego. Beyonce, the famous American singer, she has an alter ego called Sasha Fierce. So when Beyonce goes on stage, it's not her, it's Sasha Fierce. I know a lot of people that are surgeons, brain surgeons. They put on a lab coat and then they greet you, hello, Mr. Dahmen, we do surgery on you. But in reality, they are funny people that might go surfing all the time. And I think that you, as a business advisor, you play your role perfectly well, because I look at you and I see an educated, successful person who is still very human. And I love that. So I would not change your personality. I think your personality is awesome. And I would use the same personality, be that on stage or on video, everywhere, because you are great. And you should also have a consistency in your soul and in what you do. But you should, the only thing that I would advise therefore is to potentially engage in an open discussion with your fans and customers and listeners. But I think you're doing fantastic. Look at your success is great. And you have many followers.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for supporting me. That's very, very important to me. And I'm very grateful to you and to people who support us. And I also will recommend to our audience and to people, I like what you said, what Dietmar said, that you should really ask a lot. And I take example from my kids who ask thousands questions a day. Why is like that? And you mentioned this hero, and you are so good in this. This suits you as a superhero, as an actor. But really, these Spider-Man stories, because I just finished watching Spider-Man, also because we are not allowed to go out for that big amount of time. And I was thinking, would I want to be Spider-Man? No. I don't want to be, I don't want to have this coming from, but sometimes really we have to be heroes. There is no way out. We have to step out into this fear, because this fear makes us bigger and it makes us grow. What is the situation from you, how you manage to combine all these countries in you, Dietmar? Like how you are changing, how you combine, you have that big experience and it's not very normal for a person to travel that much. How you combine all these cultures in you, how you blend it?
Okay, two things I want to say again. Number one is you talked about the problems and that sometimes as a hero, we don't want to be Spider-Man. If you look at almost any movie, the hero doesn't want to be the hero. The hero is forced to be the hero. They don't want to. We watched Lord of the Rings, you know, the Tolkien thing, and there's something evil out there and they have to fight it. They don't want to fight it, but they have to do it. And what happens is always the same. The position of the hero is here, then something happens and you have to fight it and you hope you win, but boom, then you lose. And then there's the problem, and then there's the trouble. And what defines you is not the happy end. Of course, we all want the happy end at the end, and then we're happy if the film has a happy end. But what defines you is, how do you act when you are in trouble? Are you then still nice, or do you get angry? Do you lose your vision and you just scale down, or do you keep your vision and you change what you are doing? When you look at I don't know, Rocky. I don't know if you know Rocky, which is a boxing.
Of course,
movie,
my God,
right?
Stallone. Who doesn't? All Russians, they are almost raised on this Stallone and Rocky. Don't even laugh asking, do you know Rocky?
So beautiful. So Stallone wants to be the world champion. What happens? He gets beaten up. That's what happens. And then the movie is about, how do you cope with the situation after you're beaten up? And does he change the vision? No, he says, I still want to be the world champion. I still fight. I just train differently and stuff like that. So you accept your fate. You don't run away from this. This is number one. And I think this is very important. Heroes shine when there's trouble. We all want the happy end, and the happy end will come. To all of your listeners, everybody will be happy in the end, and everybody will say, my life was great, my business was great, it was difficult, but I made it. But the core is, how do you act when you're at the low point of your story? And it always continues. The movie is not over, it always continues.
But
Number two,
I cannot not interrupt you, only one small interruption. But as women, you know, women are born to be in the safe place. Maybe it's not interesting for men, I'm sorry, but now I cannot stop not asking. For us, it's unnatural to go to this risky place. We want to have a safe environment. Women are made for, to take care of the kids, of the family. And of course, the most terrible is to go out of this safe place and to be a hero. Mm-hmm. So you think it's not possible to be a hero when you are in your comfort zone, yeah? This is what you say.
Number one, yes and no. It's difficult. What I would suggest is that the path of the hero is always to go where you haven't been gone before, no matter how far that is. So maybe for you, it is just a different thing to dance. Let's say you're a strict mother and you would never dance with your kids. Then just do that, dance with your kids. Then you're a little bit outside of the comfort zone, just stretching it. You don't have to break it. It shouldn't be painful, but you can stretch it. Nobody can see that, but I go to the gym. And in the gym, I definitely improved. Why? Because in the beginning, I could do 5 things, and now I can do 15. And I just stretched gradually over and over a little bit, but I'm much better now than I was before. So what I suggest to everybody, male and female, just stretch it a little bit, be a little bit more daring, try something new. And if you do the same thing, you will stay in the same place. Maybe you are happy in that place, but you don't know because you've never been somewhere else. So I invite you to stretch your comfort zone gradually, 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 and all of a sudden you do crazy things, and that's fun. You don't have to be a superhero for others. Be a superhero for yourself.
It sounds very good, but if I will tell you, Dietmar, I will ask you to be the Chancellor of Germany. I want you to be Angela Merkel, or I want you to be President Putin. I want you to stretch that much. Will you agree for that or no?
I wouldn't, because it's not within me. It is not my comfort zone. If you look at a journey, there's always a beginning, a middle, and an end. But there's always a certain past and a certain expertise. And if I were to become Angela Merkel, I would jump movies. I would all of a sudden not be in Rocky. I would all of a sudden be in some documentary or something. And that's not me. So it has to resonate with myself. But still, I adapt. We all adapted. When I was a little kid, like the age of my kids now, I listened to fairy tale records. And I told myself I will never buy a music record. Why should I do that? It's just a song. A fairy tale is much better. But now I don't listen to fairy tale records anymore. I like music, and I have different shirts, and I have different things, and a different house. So we change, but we are always true to ourselves. So this, if you look at yourself as a brand or as an identity, what that means is that you are always true to yourself, but you develop. And developing means going somewhere that in the beginning sounded a little bit uncomfortable. I know a lot of fashion choices my wife does, for instance, where she goes, oh my God, I would never buy this. And then she says, oh, you know this one bag? I said, I never buy it. I think I like it. And then 2 days later, I think I love it. And 3 days later, I need to have it. So no is the beginning of yes. So the old comfort zone is always being replaced by a new one.
This is very nice and very positive from you. Dietmar, can you be so kind to show your comedy books that you wrote?
Oh, yeah. That's one thing that is out of the comfort zone for a lot of people. These are business comics, right? I made them for a webinar series I gave in California. And you see, it's called What's Next? And there's the first X. And this is about creativity and what is it? From chaos to creativity. This is the second X. This is about online is everywhere. This is about robots, automatization, about the power of artificial intelligence. This is about the power of emotions and being offline and experiences and all those kinds of things. And they're actually relatively fun. If you look at them, they are comics, but they are full of business insights and they are made for the business audience. And what I'm doing for your viewers and your listeners, I'm going to sign a whole entire block. These are 4 rare comics, sign them and send them to you all the way from Vienna with all my love.
Thank you so much. Merci beaucoup. Merci beaucoup. Thank you. And I will ask to our audience who will ask the most interesting question to us. We will get it directly to you, because the question should be about the art of dramatization or about emotions or about fun, how to be funny at your workplace, at the things when you do. I think that Dietmar is a great example of the person who is doing everything with fun. I think it's a great skill of kids who are doing that. That's why the kids are always pleasant to be with. But we as adults, really, we forgot sometimes to be curious, to ask questions. And this is exactly what you were talking today. And this is where you are very good at. And what I liked what you said today, don't combine who you are. Even if I ask you to be a politician to run the country, as you said, Dietmar, maybe it's not you. For you, you're more comfortable in the movies, in the field of creativity, in making an actor, maybe in creating scenario, maybe to doing this scene. This is your strong point. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't leave your, your comfort zone, but you want to be who you are, not who you are not are.
Yeah.
This is very smart.
And also, don't run away from drama. Drama is good, drama.
Oh my God.
Drama is the power of things, Whenever you have drama, you have a chance to shock people, to get emotions, to break through the wall of indifference, and then the people listen. And then they listen to what you might say. And then when you're really, really good on stage and you're Hamlet, everybody will applaud and everybody will love you, your brand, and your business.
So your recommendation is to put drama in every speech. I cannot bring skeleton like you did because, Russian people are very soft. Maybe there will be few heart attacks. People from Dubai are also very soft because get used to luxury and beautiful things. But you recommend to include drama little bit, yeah?
Yes, because drama is the opposite of boredom. If you are boring, nobody will listen to you. And you have to get through that, be that comedy drama, be that dramatic drama, be that whatever it is. Find something that resonates with you or your alter ego, like Sasha Fierce, that resonates with who you want to be, and bring that to the audience and they will embrace it and they will like it. I think a little bit of drama makes the life much more interesting and much more fun. Not too much, but a little bit.
Danke schön. That was really amazing. Thank you so much. I enjoyed our talk very much. I think you have a lot of drama and fun.